It's the Van Show. We're here at the Other Worlds Film Festival, and I met some new friends. Can you tell us what's your name?
Hi, I'm Brielle. I'm from New Jersey.
I'm John Kingman from Brooklyn.
Awesome. Well, Brielle and John, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming. Awesome. Now, you're both creatives. Brielle, what do you do in the creative field?
I act.
You're an actor?
Yes.
Wow. And how long ago did you decide, I want to be an actor?
I've always known since I was young. I was always, putting on plays for my family or being involved in theater growing up in school. So it's always been kind of in my blood.
But I mean, I imagine when you were doing the plays for your families and stuff, you were writing those as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Now, do you still write, or have you decided like I am into acting, and that's it?
I'm kind of working on something right now, but acting's really like my passion.
And what's the one thing that you really love about acting?
The one thing I love about acting, I would have to say, is that you can really dive into other people's lives and kind of, create, these little pieces from yourself. So you get to like experience someone else's life through like a script or some words, and it's pretty cool to bring it to life.
And do you find that you learn something about yourself while like pretending to be somebody else?
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
And then I imagine that comes out in the person that you are. I mean, like you're immersing yourself in a character.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a little bit of yourself in everyone that you play. At least for me, there's always a little bit of myself in someone that I'm playing. So you do get to learn about yourself that way.
Well, right, and we're all human, and even if the character you're playing is not a human per se. I mean, a human wrote that character, so there's a human in all characters in film,
right?
And all humans have some relatable quality with each other in some way or another, and I think that's a really cool thing about acting.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
Awesome. and so now you're a director, is that right?
Yes.
And so what is directing specifically as far as filmmaking? Like can you kind of explain what that job is?
Yeah, directing as a filmmaker is like being in charge of a circus for a couple weeks or a month. There's a lot of people involved. In front of the camera, there's everything you see to make the movie, but behind the camera, we've got a big crew, we've got special effects, we've got, catering to feed people, like a ton of logistics. And so as the director, it's kind of your job to make sure everybody's doing their job right, everybody's like happy to be there, but that also like the movie's getting made.
Wow, and that sounds kind of like Kermit the Frog's job on the Muppet Show.
I think that's correct, yeah.
No, but I met you also like are in like there's some story elements as well. It's not just logistics.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing is in service of telling a story. So you take whatever your script is, and you spend a lot of time figuring out, well, how can I tell this story? Like, if in a script it says that a guy is going to pull up on a dog sled in the middle of Red Hook Park, how do you make a guy pull up on a dog sled in the middle of Red Hook Park? You get a guy that has a dog sled and some dogs.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. But, like, to do that, you have to be able to figure out, like, can I afford this? Can I, arrange this with the scheduling? Is this all going to work out with the actors and the ASPCA? And so it's just a lot of, like, juggling, a lot of, like, making sure that you're doing everything in service of the story.
That seems like an impossible job.
It is a difficult job, but it's definitely not impossible. As like a film festival like this will show you, there are a lot of people that take the time and energy to do it just for fun or just because they love doing it.
And so how long ago did you decide I'm going to direct movies?
So I started out in theater like Brielle, and I did a lot of acting, a lot of like stage writing, like wrote plays in high school. And then, I don't know, I think I saw The Godfather, and it blew my mind. And I wanted to understand how you could tell a story like that on camera, and from that point, I just started dissecting films.
Wow. And so, I mean, like, were you a kid when you watched The Godfather?
Unfortunately, yes. I was too young to see it. I think I was like 10 years old.
And it impressed you? Like, I imagine if
man.
I was 10 and watching that show, I'd probably be bored. Like, what is this?
I loved it. I can't tell you what it did for me, but that movie changed my life.
Wow.
I watched it and I was like, I have to understand how films are made.
And now it kind of makes sense why you went to New York instead of LA.
Yeah, I guess that is true. Mean Streets, all the good movies that I liked are out of New York.
Cool. And so now we're here at the Other Worlds Film Festival because you both worked on a film together.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit what's the film, and can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. Well, Snatches is it's an invasion story. It's about what would happen if aliens came to New York, took over everybody's bodies, and how would you know if they'd done it, because everybody in New York's kind of weird to begin with. And so Brielle is the star of it. She's one of the characters that's just trying to figure out what's going on and, like, can we stop this in time?
And Brielle, can you tell us a little bit about the character that you play and like what it took for you to really get into that mindset?
So I play Bree. Like John was saying, I'm kind of figuring out my life. She doesn't know she wants to go to film school. Her family wanted her to go to med school, so she's kind of in this place where she's like kind of figuring herself out. And then she finds herself in this position where aliens are taking over, and she's noticing things are weirder than normal. And she just kind of falls together with the crew, and they try to defeat the aliens. I mean, it wasn't too hard to fall into that mindset because, I mean, everyone I feel like is in a point where they're like, what am I doing with my life? Like, what am I, trying to figure out which route to go. So it was, it was kind of easy to find my way there.
And I'm glad that's where you went with it. I thought you were going to say, well, everybody's in that mindset where they're ready to fight aliens.
Well, I'm always ready to fight aliens, always. Or join them, depends on the day.
Right. Goodbye.
That show, that show, that show.